Welcome. I'm Alice Alicia Jones, and this is another one of my Living Consciously videos. Today, I decided to share with you something I think I may have already talked about, but I can't remember because I have not been taking the titles down of all the YouTube videos and the Facebook Lives that I do. And obviously, they're done simultaneously. But today is a very special day because we are at the 1 year junction of a new administration. And what I chose to talk about is the world peace flame, something that was started by a young man that I had the privilege of meeting. His name is Mansukh Patel, and his parents were students and disciples of Gandhi. And occasionally he is known as the young Gandhi. So I've kind of lost track of his journey. I've kind of lost track of who he was, but I did go to about three of his presentations when he was coming into the United States. Don't know where he is now. The story of the world peace flame is his story. The story of Mansukh Patel when he was a college student in Bangor, Wales. And in Bangor, he was sitting around with a group of fellow students, and they were basically just kind of jawboning, talking, just seeing what it was that they, as college students, could do to help bring about world peace. This was roughly in the neighborhood of about 20 years ago. So all of a sudden, they came up with an idea that they were able to bring to fruition. Their idea was that they would have the indigenous culture of every single continent, one indigenous culture of every single continent, light a flame in a ceremony, in a sacred ceremony. And then what they would do is that all the flames would then be flown together to London, to Heathrow Airport, and taken up to Bangor, Wales, where they were all students. And in a ceremony there, the flames would be combined together, and that would be called the World Peace Flame. They were successful in convincing every single major government from every continent except North America. When it came to our government, they were turned down, and they were kind of despondent and thought, what's the point of this if I'm not going to be successful? But fortunately, they had a uh, a backup plan, and that was to ask another government's Air Force to see if they would come here. When they transported the flames, it was in a double protective glass barrier. It was as if it was two hurricane lanterns, one inside each other, with, of course, an airspace. And so it was very, very safe. But nevertheless, the United States government said absolutely not. Who did come to the rescue was the Royal Danish Air Force. They said that they would fly the plane, the flame, to Bangor, to Heathrow, and from Heathrow it would be taken up in caravan to Bangor, Wales. So when they did that and got together, set the time, it just so happened that a friend of mine who I was very actively involved with at that time as I was opening up to my own spirituality, happened to be friends with part of the delegation from the United States that was going to accompany the flame. So they landed, all the flames landed in Heathrow. They went by caravan to Bangor, Wales, and then came back and flew back to their respective countries. I was able then to witness the little flame when it came back. And the only way I can describe this flame to you is to tell you that as I watched it, it began to take the shape of the fairy godmother in Cinderella, the Disney version of the fairy godmother in Cinderella. And as I watched the flame, I was just mesmerized by it. I I had a kind of a front row seat. There weren't many people present at this presentation, and I saw the flame take its skirt in its hands and curtsy, bow its head in a curtsy. And then I got the message. You are never to blow out a flame. You are to snuff it. Fire is an elemental. The elemental is called a salamander. Obviously, when you have a raging fire, you can see the shape of the salamander. In this case, because it was such a gentle, soothing fire, it took the shape of a fairy godmother. But I understood from that moment on that now I knew I was never to ever blow out a flame. That if when it is time to take the flame and extinguish it, I have a candle snuffer. I use candles in my living room, my dining room, and my family room. And so as a result, I own three candle snuffers, one in each room. And I encourage you to do the same. Uh, just honor that living being and know that it is going to be there for you as a living um, being and will always be available to you. There's two more things I want to share about the world peace flame. Once you get a light from the world peace flame, and I've decided that uh, kind of stopped sharing the story of the flame and stopped sharing additional candles. And now I have so many of the little votive um, inserts. I probably have an extra 100 of them. So everybody that comes to my home for either a Reiki class or a reading session is going to get one of those votives. Once you light your votive, because it's every one of them is going to have to be lit by the world peace flame. Every time you relight it, the energy of the world peace flame is ignited again. It's in that wick. And the wick, I have a great story about the wick. One of our ministers, who unfortunately has passed away, said that she brought home one of these candles that had been lit by the world peace flame and had been extinguished. And she walked into her family room and she saw the flame as it existed on the etheric level. The etheric level is the level that surrounds all of us. Every single living thing that is on this planet has an etheric level. It's an exact template of the physical level. And she saw the flame lit. So she said, "Oh, so that's what Alice meant." Because that flame, the energy of the world peace flame is in the wick. So once you have it, every subsequent candle that you light from that flame will also have the energy of the world peace flame. And like I said, I now feel completely obligated. There's a push inside of me to to share that, share the story of it, and to give it to others, to give a physical example. I have a class of Reiki students coming tomorrow. So everyone that is going to be in attendance will get one. And my one student who is long distance will get one mailed to them. It's only fair that you get something special for the work that you're doing to increase your own spirituality. Right now is a very significant period in our life. It's a very dangerous period because there people are paying so much attention to conflict and giving the all their energy to conflict, where the only way we are going to bring peace to this planet is to put the energy on peace. And that peace begins with me. The peace begins with the thoughts that we think, the thoughts that we have. Every single thing out there reflects what we have in here, inside of us. So please know that you indeed are the center of your universe, center of the universe. You indeed are the creator of your own reality. Just know that. Do not doubt that for a second. And know that you are going to bring into fruition what it is that you focus and concentrate on. If you keep focusing and concentrating on everything you don't want, everything that's wrong in your life, that's all you're going to draw back into your life. I can remember listening to Abraham Hicks' tape, who is Ask and It Is Given, the author of Ask and It Is Given, who channels a collective consciousness called Abraham. She said, if 99 things are going wrong in your life and one thing is going right, think about the one thing that's going right. That's how critical it is. So please remember that. You want your life to improve, you want your life to change, focus and concentrate on what it is that you hope to achieve, that you desire, the people you want in your life, the situations you want in your life, rather than what is going wrong in your life. You are truly a creator being. You have the same potential as the great creator, but you are pure potential with your ability to create exactly as the creator creates through your thought. So I thank you for watching. This is going to be very short today. And because I've promised to keep these around 15 minutes, I notice that people get a little antsy when they go over 15 minutes, and this is 16 minutes. So it's working. But I thank you for being here, and I will see you next week.